Hello, Jolynn and Eli. Here's your sewer scope from today's inspection. That's me crammed in that little basement nook area. There's the access point on the main sewer stack. We're cast iron for about the first 6 feet or so. And then we make a quick change over to fortified concrete right about here. The cast iron, again, short run there, but is in good shape, as is the concrete. Typically, the concrete sections are always it's good pipe. The black rings that you see right there, the connection point, it's a gasket, makes it watertight. We go right into clay, and what we're going to see is it looks like a crack or a damaged section of pipe. We only get a bit of a view because after a couple seconds it'll get mucked up and muddied up. You can see the crack on the right. There'll be some still pictures in there, and I think that there's damage on the left-hand side, but definitely a drop in the pipe, and then I can see some damage there. And as I was reviewing the video 2, 3, 4 times, it's obvious that there's at least one crack in the pipe, and there's probably more damage. Likely that section's out, potentially in the front yard, and that section will need to be repaired or replaced, depending upon. I mean, if it's just a crack, it's just a crack, and you could potentially line it. The other issue is roots. In clay pipe situations, it's, in my mind, not necessarily a defect. It's more of a characteristic of the pipe. There is extensive root growth right now, which tells me that, and that's almost completely blocking the pipe, right? So that tells me that the roots haven't been addressed in a while. How long that while is, we don't know, because we don't know how quickly the roots propagate back into the pipe. It could be 5 years, 3 years, it could be a year and a half, we don't know. Ultimately, it's learning what the characteristics of the pipe are, and the only way that you can do that is by, at least in the initial stages, revisiting the pipe relatively frequently. So let's say that you get the pipe cleaned now as part of the purchase process. What I would recommend is come back at some point within the next 12 to 16 months, or 12 to 18 months, year and a half, and see how much growth you have. It could be minimal, it could be a lot. We're underwater. That doesn't mean that the pipe is completely filled with water. My camera head is much smaller in diameter than the pipe is. So you may be a third of the way full. I can see, and you can see, a little bit of daylight on top of the camera lens. So that could be just an inch of water in there. And then we're kind of free. And here's our connection to the city municipal line right here. So 112 feet out. We've got some investigating to do. We've got some cleaning up to do with getting rid of the roots. And then evaluating, the obvious area of damage up front. And then once the pipe is clear, and we've got better visibility on all of the sections, making sure that there's not any other damage throughout the line. So all of that will be written up in your written report. Read through that. Reach back out to me with questions. I'm going to pull back, keeping the camera rolling. We lose a good bit of visibility just because the camera lens gets mucked up as we're pulling back. But you're welcome to watch the return journey. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have questions or if I can be of service.